everyone, welcome back to another episode of Unmute Minds. I'm your host Daniela, and I have a very special guest here with me today. Do you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Marcus Park. I am the president of Wise Moves.
Wise Moves, that sounds like a really interesting club. Do you mind telling me a little bit more about that club?
Yeah, so Wise Moves is a nonprofit organization with the students of Ponte Vedra, and we basically go twice a month to an elderly home to do arts and crafts with them.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That must have a huge impact on them, I imagine, right?
I would hope so, yeah.
So is this your first time leading a club?
Yes, this would be my first time leading a club. I've previously joined clubs as just kind of a member my sophomore year, but never have I actually been a president of one.
Wow. That's a really big step for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
What have you learned about leadership so far?
I've learned that you have to really be on top of the events and your officers and people in general. You have to know what's going on, and you have to have trustworthy people to stand by you.
Definitely, 100%. You need to have the most solid people you can on your team for the project that you're passionate about.
Definitely.
Yeah, leadership is not an easy task, is it?
No.
Because usually you've got things like by your teachers and such handed to you. You've got your assignments handed to you, but you're the one who has to coordinate everything.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling me a little bit more about your club, Wise Moves, as well?
Yeah, so I was initially talking about it with my sponsor at the end of my sophomore year, and I was suggesting names, but none of them were quite clicking. And then I thought of, we're going to be volunteering at an elderly home, and I thought that's kind of wise. So I just was like, maybe Wise Moves, because it's wise that we're volunteering there.
That sounds like a really clever name. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling me a little bit more about how this idea came to life? Because I imagine that the end of your sophomore year, you were like, hey, I want to start a club. I want to make an impact. How did you narrow it down to not only volunteering, not only in your community, but also specifically with the elderly? What was your thought process?
So when I was talking about it with my sponsor, I've wanted to start a club, but I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do. So I was thinking some kind of volunteering, because at the time I needed hours. And I was just going through it with my teacher, and he's the one who actually suggested that I try volunteering with elderly people. And at first I didn't really know, but over the summer I just tried to go by myself to see if this would be something I would be interested in, and I loved it. So I decided to recruit some people, and we went from there.
That's a lovely story. Where is this, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, this is at Starling Nocatee.
Starling, is that like a residential home?
Yes, this is an assisted living.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, have you noticed, I imagine there's like a lot of impact that goes behind doing such a thing, because, I don't know, to me, I feel like the younger generation and the older generation, especially nowadays, don't exactly click. Do you think that there's been a noticeable impact? Like, have you noticed from when you first started going to, I guess now, a big difference?
Yeah, the first time I started going, I was kind of just new to everything. I didn't really know the residents personally, but over time, I think I've built a trust with them, and so have my members and my officers who've also joined me, and we now know them personally. We've talked to them, we've heard their life stories, and I think it's really made an impact in their lives and our lives as well.
That is wonderful. I'm so happy for you that you get to see such an impact on a bi-monthly basis, you said?
Yes.
Wonderful. So could you tell me a little bit more specifically about what you do when you're there?
Yeah, so we mainly do arts and crafts there from 1 to 2:30, and we can do anything from canvas paintings to some kind of paper arts and crafts with either scissors or glue or paints, and we kind of just create some arts and crafts.
Sounds like a lot of fun. What has been your favorite project so far?
My favorite project so far, during Christmas, December, we made gingerbread houses.
No.
Yeah.
You're joking.
We used milk cartons, and then I made some homemade royal frosting, and then we kind of just made a gingerbread house, and it was really fun.
That's really fun. Oh my gosh. How many elderly people do you talk to when you're there?
It can vary, but usually we'll have anywhere from 4 to 5.
Oh my gosh, that's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like a personal group.
Yeah.
So, back to what I was talking about with leadership. How has being a leader changed you personally, do you think?
It's definitely changed the way I thought. about being a leader. You know, if you've been a part of a club and you've seen the president, it seems straightforward, but once you actually become the leader, you'll start to see you have a lot of tasks to take care of that is behind the scenes, if that makes sense. So you really have to be on top of the events that you do, meetings, and your officers. You want to make sure you have a good connection with all of them.
Definitely. Oh, 100%. Because school doesn't stop either. Like,
Yeah, there's also school too, so you have to figure out a way to manage both of them.
yeah, Mr. Hillier isn't going to cancel his test because,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I had a club meeting this morning, couldn't study. You know how
Yeah.
it is.
No exception.
What if he was your sponsor? What would that be like?
That would be very interesting. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Mr. Hillier, he's the sponsor of Investing Initiative. I think it's Aiden's club. It's like an investing club too.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you're close with Aiden too?
Yeah.
He's in my physics class, yeah.
Oh,
I think he's also the sponsor of a rocketry club that I've been meaning to join. I don't know if you heard about that.
I haven't. I think I can tell a pattern in Mr. Hillier's like what he chooses to sponsor. Like obviously he's talked about like investing before and like money. So he's really into that and like rockets obviously. Physics teacher. So that's interesting.
Oh, well, it's like an extra physics class. Yeah. Calculate the momentum of the rocket when it reaches its maximum altitude of blah 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 blah.
Yeah, he'd definitely be into that though.
Oh, and since like as the year goes by, because it's only physics student, as the year goes by, you like add the topics that you're learning into it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to your club now. What has been your most recent project? Well, when was your most recent event?
Actually, before I came here today, we were doing nails for the elderly people. I brought a group of girls and they were really helping me out, and we painted the elderly people's nails.
You painted their nails?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so fun. Do you have any pictures by chance?
I don't.
Oh, that's too bad. Because like I said, we can like put them up there.
Yeah. I do have pictures of the last event we did. We did pipe cleaner flowers.
Ooh, all right. Can
Yeah.
you send me those after we're done? I'll like put them up there so
Yeah.
that people can see. That sounds wonderful. What was the very first one that you did? Do you remember?
Let me see. I think it was honestly bracelets. We went with something very generic and something we could figure out how to do easily. But actually, it was actually very hard to do because the beads were so tiny. And not only was it hard for the elderly people to do, it was hard for us to fit the beads in. And then the worst part about it is once we finished tying the bracelet, sometimes it would just fall apart and the beads would go everywhere.
Because you mentioned the impact that this club has had on you and how being a leader has affected you. But there's also a strong sense of empathy that I feel like comes with this club and with these events, and because it's not something everyone does every day.
Yeah, it's definitely a specialized thing that you're either into or you're not into. It's really, in order to talk to elderly people, you have to have patience, right? So that's what we look for with not only my officers, but the members who consistently go there. So I think it has impacted both of us, both me and the elderly, in a good way.
I'm glad. Have you seen a change in your officers and members as well since when you first started?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say my officers, at their first time volunteering, obviously, they didn't really have expectations or really know how it was going to go. But over time, they've been more comfortable volunteering and they enjoy it. So I'm glad.
I hope that they also have like an elevated sense of empathy that comes with these events as well. I imagine that everyone grew from this.
Yeah, I think they definitely take responsibility and see that they are making a change.
That's what I like about your club. That's not just you're not just benefiting them and you're not just benefiting yourself. It's a two-way street. You make their lives a little bit better, you make their day, you give them something that they can have, that they can hold on to. And you guys are learning skills that you can hold on to and have for the rest of your lives as well.
Yeah.
And memories, of course, that come with it. So do you do any other events with the elderly, or do you just mainly stick with arts and crafts?
We mainly do arts and crafts, but actually the lady who works at the elderly home, she'll sometimes ask me for specific days if I would be able to bring in some volunteers for something very specific she has. For example, she needed like a bunch of flowers set up at each of the residents' doors. I was able to grab some volunteers for my club, and I was like, hey, we need some volunteers for this like one-time thing. Would any of you be interested? And some of them said yes. So in a case like that, we do odd jobs on the elderly home sometimes, but we really just do anything we can to help the elderly home.
That sounds like a wonderful impact to have. So your club, honestly, to me, feels like a hidden gem in PV, because I hadn't heard about it until very recently, obviously. I'm very glad that you've been able to host so many events and have such a external impact. What do you think that we could do for you to be able to get the word out to PV students as well?
Besides from promoting on social media, I would say just talking to people about it, talking about volunteering and just being with the elderly, how it can help with patients and just help you in that way. And just the bond between students and the elderly.
Awesome. Okay, let's get on a little more personal path now. You mentioned to me that you wanted to be a nurse.
Yeah, somewhere in the nursing field. I don't know exactly the specialty, but I just know I like being able to help people in that way. So that was definitely an interest of mine.
Which came first, the idea of the club or your interest in a career?
The idea of a club first. Because when I was discussing with my sponsor, I didn't know if I was going to do an elderly home, but it wasn't until I actually volunteered there that I actually found that passion that eventually led me to making a decision about a career. And I feel like most students actually, they don't really know what they want to do. So I was very fortunate enough to find that soon.
That's wonderful. You found what you wanted to do with your career from your club that you started.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you done anything related to nursing thus far outside of your club?
I was looking to sponsor a nurse from one of my friends, so I'm in the process of doing that.
What do you mean?
Or not sponsor, shadow.
Oh my gosh, that's really fun.
So hopefully if I'm able to do that, I can kind of learn more about nursing and get into that field.
Where would you like to go to shadow?
The place doesn't really matter to me as much. I'm more looking just for any sort of experience I can gain in nursing.
So you mentioned to me that your seniors that you go out with to volunteer, that they sometimes give you their life stories.
Yeah.
What do you think has been the most impactful one to you so far?
There is this one resident, and she was telling us about her when she was young, like the high school she went to and like her college, her just experience in life in like a time period where like we're obviously the future generation. Being able to hear stories from previous generations is you could really see the difference between the two, and it's really mind-blowing how much has changed and just how different it is from our current situation.
I imagine you've had like different types of stories too, like military veterans or past people that worked in the nursing field as well, I imagine.
Yeah.
So what do you think is your personal favorite part of going to these events?
Probably knowing that you're making a difference in their lives. Like honestly, being able to go back there again and again, you recognize them and they recognize you, and they like tell you firsthand they appreciate you coming there, and that actually makes you want to come back even more, and it's a really special moment for me and the officers and the members.
Imagine they just light up when they see you guys.
Yeah.
I know that if I was in their shoes I would too. That would sound like the highlight of my week, honestly.
Mm-hmm. We just hope we're making an impact in that way, because it's very special to us.
It's special to you and it's special to them. Mm-hmm. So it's like I mentioned before, it's a two-way street. You're not just being benefited, but you're also benefiting. And they're not just being benefited, but they're also benefiting you guys as well.
Yeah, I would hope so.
All right. So in between all of your leadership tasks that you have, if being the president of a club, what do you think has been the biggest struggle for you so far?
Let me see. I think it would be definitely managing officers and members. Like obviously, every event, not everyone is going to be there. Making sure that these dates we volunteer align with not just my officers, but also my members. We make it so it's very available to everyone. So being able to manage and see how busy people are and if they can make the event, that's been probably the biggest challenge. But every event we usually go to, we always have some people to help us there.
Okay, so you have to like take a list of who's able to make it, who's not, get accountability for that as well?
Definitely.
Yeah, being a leader, especially with that aspect, with managing other people, I think is the biggest part and the most difficult part of being a leader. Because you don't just have to control your life. You have to make sure everyone else is in check, and the more people with that is, the harder it gets, right?
Because obviously my officers or my members could have something else going on. So in that case, they would tell me, and then I'd be able to know what's going on with them. Because it's not just a club. I'm also looking out for their well-being and seeing how they're doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to me about your club. Now, you did mention that you do a lot of other volunteering outside of your club. Do you mind telling me a little more about that?
Yeah, so I volunteer at my local library, and I also started doing that this summer, actually. So I either stock shelves, make some like arts and crafts for kids, and I can also teach kids how to play chess.
Yeah? Oh, can you teach me how to play chess? I do not know how to play chess.
Yeah, I'm not the very best at chess, but I really enjoy it and just teaching people how to play.
It's a really relaxing game, isn't it?
It can start off as relaxing, but definitely it can be very challenging.
They kind of get competitive.
Yeah.
I used to watch like the shows when I was little where it was like there was a timer in the center almost and you had to hit the...
Yeah, there's like different names. There's blitz and then like different modes, so it's like different times.
Oh.
Yeah, so like in blitz, each person has 5 minutes.
Oh my god. Oh, for a turn?
Yes.
So you could just sit there for 5 minutes staring at the board and that's like...
Technically, yeah. And whose ever time runs out first, they lose. The main game of chess is to capture their king, of course, but if you run out of time, you then lose.
I did not know that. I can imagine. What do you think the longest chess game is?
They definitely can go on for hours. So it can get pretty intense. I've never done anything like that. But...
I would just let my time run out. No, I'm not doing all that.
Yeah.
No, you win. What do you think has been your favorite part about volunteering at the library, though?
Let me see. I would also think it's just being able to make an impact. Like at this library, there isn't very many like consistent volunteers. So just knowing that I may be able to help out with whatever they need, it's very fulfilling for me. And I'm going to hope to keep on doing it.
I'm glad. I remember I used to volunteer at this place called The Link. We did kids' night outs, where essentially it was like, how old were they? Younger than 13, older than 4. And what we did is we had them for 4 hours there, running around. It was such like a joyful experience for me because I personally loved hanging out with the little ones and spending time with them. Not so much like the 12-year-olds and stuff, but like the little ones, and it was a lot of fun. And I imagine that's the age range that you hang out with as well?
Yeah. When I like teach kids chess, they don't really know how the pieces move, so it's like usually the younger kids, definitely.
Do you have any way for like helping them remember each one? Because I know like at my old age, I would not be able to remember all of that. I'd be like, this one goes diagonally sideways.
Yeah, so it's more of a, I wouldn't say, I mean, it's more of just repeatedly playing the game and making mistakes, just learning how to do it in that way.
Kind of like the game of life. You make mistakes and you learn. There you go.
Definitely.
That sounds like a lot of fun though. Where is this? I'm sorry, what library?
This is closer to where I live. It's in Mandarin, actually.
Oh my gosh, all the way out to like Tampa.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. So you mentioned that you also like to bake.
Yes.
My gosh, I wish I could bake. But like the best I can do is like get cookie dough out of the freezer, like put it on an oven and like What's your favorite thing to bake?
Right now, it's been cinnamon rolls.
You might have to make me some.
Yeah, at first they were like really hard to make because there's like a big process, but once you get the hang of it, you get the hang of it, and just being able to try out different recipes and different ways of making them is really fun.
Why do you do it? Do you do it because you're passionate about baking as stress relief, or?
Yeah, I would say it's a combination of both, and also just being able to give them to my friends is also fun.
I know me personally, I like to do digital art when I'm stressed out about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, that kind of like brings me back to my origin of stress. I'll start doing like free body diagrams and stuff because I'm like, wait, how does this work again? So, anyways, that's just me. Do you do any sports by chance?
I don't. No.
You don't? Mm.
Yeah, a lot of my friends do, but I don't.
Me neither. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, I know sports are very big at our school, you know, whether it's track or some kind of lacrosse football thing, but I'm not involved.
Yeah, no, me neither. I feel like if I joined, like, the tennis team, for example, I'd somehow hit the ball backwards. I don't know. I don't think I'd be very good at that.
Yeah, I think Rylan is in tennis, isn't he?
I'm not sure. He is?
I think so. He is. And I also think tennis kind of is very similar to pickleball. I mean, if you're counting the sport, I play pickleball, but not, like, competitively. You know, just for fun.
There's a tournament going on, I think, right now, isn't there?
Yeah, I saw that too. You could have applied on Schoology.
I don't know how that would work. Pickleball games here are so unserious. I don't know if you've seen one. Like, sort of like trying to hit each other in the face, at least during my lunch.
Yeah, but I also think people have like stopped playing pickleball in a way. Like,
You think so?
at least when I was like a freshman, it was like really big for us. But then as we've become juniors, like, I mean, at least for me, like none of my friends play pickleball anymore. I mean, at school at least, but
It's a freshman thing, isn't it?
yeah, it really is like a freshman thing, because it's something you didn't really have in like middle school or like elementary school.
I remember, I think it was near the end of my sophomore year, every single day after school, there would just be people playing pickleball. Like, they'd have to like, hey guys, come on, you gotta go home. Come on.
Yeah.
Go get your own pickleball court. That sounds like a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you so much for coming in. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, just thank you for having me and allowing me to share my story on your podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. We'd love to have your story. Thank you so much. So, do you want to go ahead and say our...
Until next time, unmute your mind and lift up the world.
Bye. Thank you.
Hey, it's time to rise. At Pontevedra, let's light up the skies. With our hearts united, we're breaking through. Here's to the club where we celebrate you. When life gets rough and the road feels tough, remember the strength that you carry. It's in